Hi everyone, my name is Rita Egidio and I am back with one new episode of the Influential Creatrix with another beautiful woman. Laura, hi, nice to meet you. Please open this space telling who you are, where are you from, and what you do.
Thanks so much. It is wonderful to be here. Wonderful to share this space with you. Even just from our, short conversation leading up to this, I can really feel your energy and your passion. Okay, so who am I? I'll summarize it, and then we can dig in and whatever feels interesting for you. I grew up in the United Arab Emirates in a big sort of multicultural environment. Went from there into engineering and construction and spent about a decade in that industry. And something that I really took for granted growing up in an expat environment was how, multicultural and inclusive and friendly and diverse people were. And it hit me when I got into the industry that wasn't standard, that wasn't normal. And women in particular were having quite a difficult experience. Women in particular is not accurate. My lived experience was as a white woman, and I could see other white women having a difficult experience that was obviously exaggerated for women of color and other minorities or abilities. So what happened there was 10 years in that industry sort of slowly started chipping away at my soul and my energy levels. You kind of you come to work and you have to meet the deadlines and handle pressure and manage relationships and handle conflict. All of the things that everyone does in a high pressure environment at work. But on top of all that, you have to deal with people calling you by the wrong name, people calling you by pet names, these microaggressions, and then more serious unwanted attention, stereotypes, biases, maybe even harassment. And all of that led to me burning out in 2019. And it was something I'd never experienced before. It was total emotional, physical, mental exhaustion. I was done, and I just had to tap out. I had to tap out, and I had to leave really for the better part of a month and get some space and figure out what I wanted to do. Shortly after that, COVID-19 happened, and in that long, hard look that we all took at ourselves, had with ourselves in the mirror, I decided that it wasn't the place where I wanted to be, and I left that industry to start my own company called Thrive Leadership, that's focused on resilience and inclusion and helping people really build this life that nourishes them. And I do that through corporate programs, but I also do that for individuals and mostly women who have suffered from burnout, through coaching, through training, and my favorite way is through retreats.
So beautiful. I used to tour a lot around Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and so it's beautiful when I grew up in Africa.
Cool.
It's beautiful when we have the allowance to grow up in not the normal Occidental world, because when we get in contact with the Occidental world, we are more flexible and we can see things that the other people don't see. So
it's a privilege, isn't it? It was a real blessing.
It is. And it is a superpower as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the ability to look over the wall, not just into the wall. I have my phone here with the Charlie Brown cover, then it was the only thing I had available phone. But you say, so this phone is as well this phone, and is as well this phone. So for the people who are listening to me, I'm just going around with my phone. I just want to say it's like it's different angles for this thing. I don't know about you, but because I interview at this time 70 women, I feel like since 2019 is coming up a movement. Maybe the first layer of that movement was Me Too, but it's coming up this movement of women supporting other women. And we start our conversation off saying this. When I create this space, my mind was learning. Obviously, I work offers, and obviously I have my own things, but I did want to learn and listen to other women and give them a space that many times we don't have. Do you prefer, what is your why? Do you feel you have a mission towards women, or you have a mission towards someone on the same situation than you?
My mission has definitely evolved in the last few years, and since 2016, I've been doing some of this more holistic work on the side of my engineering career, and it was very much aimed at women.
What a combination! I will ask you in a second how is to be an engineer. Okay, go.
Yeah, it was fun. When I got out of engineering and I got some space from that world, I realized that there had been some real serious impacts on my body and my mental health and my emotional health. And what I was experiencing, even months after leaving corporate, was PTSD. And, I had gone through something that was not one big traumatic event, but a series of complex triggering events that had landed in my body and my brain and my emotions as trauma. And this concept of corporate trauma is fairly new. Like, we talk about workplace trauma as, injury or harassment or things like that, but corporate trauma, being traumatized by this infrastructure, is a fairly new topic. And that has become a fundamental part of my mission now, which is to end corporate trauma, heal those who've been traumatized, and help people create a life that nourishes them instead of drains them.
Do you feel then more people are going out of corporate and trying to build their own business?
I do, and I think it's a shame. There's two sides to it, right? There's people like me and many people who said, enough is enough. I'm not working for anyone else anymore. I don't have to put up with these conditions, with this treatment, with, working 12, 15-hour days for someone else. I don't have to do it. I can do it on my own. And that can be a wonderful thing. But the downside of that is that women and minorities are more likely to be facing stress and burnout in the workplace and more likely to leave. And so we get a corporate world that is
full of
stagnant. Exactly. Stagnant and not diverse. So, on one side, all power to you. If you don't like it, make your own opportunity. But on the other side, there's a real onus on corporates to start changing these systems if they do want to promote a diverse and inclusive workplace.
Mm-hmm. Who is your perfect client? Do you have a perfect client? Did you narrow down your avatar? I'm asking this because this is the main question that everyone have on courses. And I have a different theory about avatars. I think then they choose us. You can go
Yeah,
anywhere, but they choose us. Think like the gurus out there, they put so much pressure, then you need to narrow down. And I understand, because if you narrow down, your language is more punch on the face, and you know I'm talking to you. If I say I'm looking for women healers and coaches, mentors who want to become a leader of their field and they are stuck on social media, do you know I'm talking, right?
Yeah.
But how is your did you have a process? Did you said, okay, now what I do next, what are my steps? Do I need to find, did you have a guru then you follow, or a coach, mentor? Tell me, guide me, how it was for you to build your business like it is now?
Yeah, I was lucky in that I had a coach at the time who I was working with, who helped me through the transition from, sort of burnt out and traumatized into running my own business. And I would advocate anyone working with a coach, because, you need someone to help you see your blind spots and to help you put structure to things and to give you a little bit of a different perspective. So yeah, I was lucky there. And really there's sort of two key people that I work with, or groups of people that I work with, depending on whether it's corporate work or individual oriented work. The corporate clients, and it's funny that you say they choose you, because this person kind of chose me and came into my life rather than me framing this up really really specifically. And it's a leader in engineering and construction who is running a company that is struggling with burnout, maybe with attrition, with a poor work culture, and they want to change. They don't like what is happening in their company, and they want to do something about it, but they don't know what to do. They need some help. They don't have the time. They don't have the energy. They've probably burnt out multiple times in the last couple of years. And they need someone to come in and help them turn things around in a program that is sustained and evidence-based and impactful. So that's sort of the corporate side. Mm-hmm. And then the individual side, which I find really important, because it's important to work up front with corporates because you want to change the system that is causing all this burnout, but there's still a bunch of burnt out people out there. And for me, it's mostly working with women who have faced burnout, stress, stereotypes, biases in STEM industries, who are sick of it, mm-hmm. and who want to change. And in order to change, first, you have to heal. You have to be able to step out of the stress response so you can access these more intelligent parts of your brain. You can access your intuition and you're not just running away. And then help them figure out what they really want to do. Do they want to stay in the workplace but manage it differently with boundaries and self-care routines? Or do they want to, get out of there and start their own thing?
As they can. Okay, makes sense. How was for you to get your first paying client?
Yeah, it's so funny.
I love the smile on your face. I wish people who are listening to this, you could see the smile. It's such a special moment, right?
Yeah. It's so funny how the universe opens up and things just start flowing for you.
Thank you for
when you start choosing yourself.
Today I need to listen to that. Yeah. So yeah. How was?
Yeah.
How it made you feel?
It was amazing. I was in a difficult place. I was unsure about what I was doing. I had just put some feelers out that I was, doing some consulting, doing some coaching. And a person in my network connected me with someone else who was running a small company focused on Black and ethnic minority programs and accelerator programs. And within 24 hours, we had a contract signed. And within, 36 hours, I was starting paid work as a consultant.
Dance? Did you? How you celebrate when you
I think I
celebrate?
was just shocked, you know. I think, to your point, I don't know if I did celebrate at the time. I think I was just like, oh my gosh, I can do this.
Let me tell you then, for me, celebration is key.
Yeah.
You need to celebrate.
Yeah.
I ring the bell. Each time I close a client, I ring a bell. I have a little bell and I ring that bell until each time I get money, I get paid for my work, I ring a bell.
Oh, I
And
love that.
it's
I'm gonna
so
take that
powerful, so powerful.
on.
And when I close bigger clients, I do silly dances. And when I feel like sometimes you have moments and you are not selling so much. So what I do is like I silly dance around the house, like I just did get a new client. And
Yeah.
I think the universe likes that. I don't know. My idea is the universe loves when you have fun. I know it's hard to have fun when we are struggling with
Hmm.
society or money or whatever. But if you can do silly dances and dance, the universe always provide for you. And another important thing for business starting, in my opinion, and you tell me if you agree, if you don't have money to invest on your business, point one, what I learned is you don't need to have a website to sell. You don't need to have a funnel. You don't need to have nothing of that. We get so stuck on where should I host my courses? Where should I, right? It's
Yeah.
so much clutter. And you don't need to be perfect. You can start. And please, before you jump for ads, please,
Yes.
before you jump for ads, if you have no money, you have time. It's always. So jump in conversations with people, ask them questions, meaningful questions, and see if you can serve them. Because there is your clients, people who are already following you, people are already seeing you. What is your opinion about how you are getting clients now? How is the flow going? So you can inspire the people.
Yeah. I think that's I think everything what you said, I was like clicking over here. It's just such a great point. It's just like, do the next thing, get started, do something. And I've been,
focus in one thing each time.
yeah.
Just
One thing at a
one
time.
thing at a time, because we want to do this and this don't get the results straight away, so we jump to something else and we jump to something else and we do a new course. I don't know how many courses I started and I never did finish.
Yeah, I know.
I said, no, I'm done with this. I know
Yeah.
I have enough knowledge inside of me, and if I don't, I go to YouTube and I found the answer. But
Exactly. You learn it in 3.5 minutes.
I will say that it's more hard to keep the focus and just keep walking and not listen to the noise, just focus and keep walking than any other thing. Oh, how are you getting clients? Because now I'm going.
Yeah, the client's question. I think the biggest thing for me in a field that is fairly saturated, both on, the corporate culture programs and, retreats and well-being and holistic healing, is just long-term relationships and building trust with people. And it's a long game. It's a long game. I don't see, lots of turnover and lots and like high quantities of new customers coming into my field, but I have a lot of repeat customers, both in the corporate side and the retreat side. And just people who trust me, people who resonate with my work, and people who find value in the services that I'm providing. And for me, that's really important, because then those people go out and tell more people, oh, hey, I went to this great yoga retreat last week. You should come with me on the next one. So yeah, that's the big thing for me. And then of course there's slightly broader broadcasting of, who I am, what I do, building trust, building credibility on both Instagram and LinkedIn. But really that is, that's kind of rounding out who I am. And it's helping me, start to make those relationships that do last a long time.
Sounds great.
It's not for everyone, but it seems to be okay for me.
I want to go back because I want to ask, how is to be an engineer and being holistic?
I think you'd be surprised. I think there's quite a lot of engineers who aren't, the caricature of an engineer with, hyper logical and, wearing glasses and I don't know.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You have such a beautiful energy, Laura. I want you to tell us what offers you have in place now, or how can people work with you?
So I have 2 retreats coming up this year in the UK. The first is July 14th to 17th in Somerset. So that's southwest of the UK. It's going to be a beautiful venue in the countryside. We've got foraging, we've got campfire cooking, we've got wild swimming, and we've got workshops that are centered on, building this practice of rest and radical self-love to really, restore and nurture yourself. There'll be meditation, there'll be yoga, and there'll be community, and there'll be this beautiful sort of luxury country house that we all stay in. So that's July, and then September is in the Wye Valley in Wales, so also in the UK. A little bit more rustic, this one. It's like shared glamping yurts. We've got an eco spa overlooking the Wye Valley. The owners at the venue do some delicious catering for us. It's all vegetarian, and we do forest bathing there. So Shinrin-yoku, which is this Japanese art of forest bathing and really absorbing the healing power of nature and the forests. So those are my 2 big things this summer.
Beautiful. Before we wrap this, I want to, I give to some of my guests, not all, some of my guests, I give 1 hour of my time extra with no cameras, to really go into your business and talk with you about numbers and etc. What we don't need to talk
Fabulous.
Here. And we can go, and I can give you my popcorn ideas. I always say my ideas jump out of my head like a popcorn machine. And I would love to give you that. But I want you to first say, where can people find you? And then you send me the link. So I put on the description. And then I will ask you more 2 questions. So where can people find you?
Great. Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Laura C. Aiken. LinkedIn as well, if that's more your vibe, Laura C. Aiken. And my website is lauraclaireaiken.com, and all the information on the retreats and a mailing list is there if you're interested.
Nice. A message to yourself when you are burned out. Send a message. If you could send a message to yourself in that time.
It's all about the baby steps. So make 1 small choice to center and care for yourself, and you'll get a little bit of energy back to make 1 bigger choice and 1 bigger choice. So it's temporary, and just make baby steps towards healing and self-care. Nice.
And to end, a quote, your favorite quote.
There is a quote that I would love to share, but I'm forgetting the name of it now. Yeah, it's essentially that, self-care is an act of revolution, and self-love is an act of revolution, and rest is an act of revolution. We can't change the world. We can't further our missions We can't show up in life, the way that we want to show up if we're not caring for ourselves. So there you go.
100% with you. Oh, Laura, so nice. Thank you so much. I'm going to say bye to the people listen to us, and then I'm going to talk with you.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much, guys. Please subscribe, comment, give a 5-star review on the podcast. You know the drill. My name is Rita Egidio. It was another beautiful, amazing and inspirational podcast with Laura Aiken.